Good morning. Can you see where I'm at? Well, I am in my kitchen. There's my refrigerator, and as I look into all the food in my refrigerator, I think about all the different foods in the world. And a lot of them are represented in my refrigerator. You see, I really like food. This morning I fixed a good breakfast of eggs and bacon. Sometimes I also fix Eggos or French toast with syrup on it and butter or cereal. Those are kind of things I have for breakfast. But then I thought a lot of those things probably years ago many people didn't have. And that's what we're going to study today. We're going to study about lesson 103 that has to do with food. Who would know? In our history book, we're going to learn about food. One of my favorite subjects, I know. I have to kind of not eat everything I like sometimes, especially those sweets. But anyway, so let's start. Food. As I was looking through, first of all, I love the first scripture that's there. It talks about food. It says, "Then God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seeds, and fruit trees on the earth, bearing fruit after their own kind, with seed in them," on Genesis 1:11. It's kind of neat that God actually had the food ready before he even brought Adam and Eve to life, you know? He knew what they'd need, huh? So now let's go back. We're talking about the new explorers. And it's really, we're talking about this great exchange that happened during the 14, 15, and 1600s. Oh, because you see, they hadn't seen the New World. At least Columbus and Spain and England and France and all of Europe had never even known there was a New World. A New World with new kinds of food, you know? So in 1493, Columbus brought hogs, cattle, sheep, goats, chickens for meat. They hadn't really seen those animals before. And also he brought seeds of grapevine, chickpeas, melons, olives, onions, lettuce, radishes, sugarcane, fruit seeds. The Native Americans had never really known these kinds of foods. And so they were probably pretty interested once Columbus and the Spanish got settled there, especially in Central America, where Columbus landed. But then again, there's a great exchange because thousands of years in Europe, in Africa, in China, and Japan hadn't known some indigenous foods that were in America. And you'd be really surprised that I would go over because these things are what we eat every day. First, potatoes. Do you guys like French fries? Do you like baked potatoes? Do you like mashed potatoes? There's all kinds, or potato soup. Yes, potatoes. Europeans hadn't ever tasted a potato before. What else? Corn. One of my favorite kinds of foods is corn. I like everything that's made of corn, whether it's cornbread or corn on the cob or popcorn. I love corn. Can you imagine thousands of years they never tasted corn? Not even popcorn? Until Columbus came to America. Until the Spanish and the English came to America and the Indians said, we got something really good to plant for you. In fact, we almost survive on this. Corn. Oh, I bet you like these. Oreos. Oh, no. They didn't have Oreos back then yet. But chocolate. This is a chocolate fudge covered Oreo. Don't you wish you had one? They're really, really good. I love chocolate. I don't know if you do, but I do. And most of America loves chocolate. Just go to any store and there you'll see, right when you go out the cash register, you'll see tons of candy bars. Chocolate! Can you believe that in Europe and in Africa and Asia, they never had chocolate? Chocolate was a Native American, Aztecs and Incas. But the thing about the Aztecs and Incas, they ate chocolate, although they didn't sweeten it. So it probably was kind of, you ever ate unsweetened chocolate? It's not so good. But of course, you have, in the Renaissance and age, with especially the Dutch and the Spanish and the English, they mixed a little bit of honey, a little bit of sugar with the chocolate. That's what they came up with. Oh, I better put it that way. You can see my husband and I ate the whole pack almost. There only had one left that I had to save. Anyway, let's go on. Hopefully I don't have any chocolate on my teeth. But anyway, let's talk about these things from your book. Potatoes. In South America, in the Andes Mountains, and all of that whole area, they grew potatoes. In fact, Sir Francis Drake, when he came to America, he brought potatoes to Europe. That was a big deal. In fact, they even used to have a statue. Of course, in Russia, they took it down, but they used to have a statue in Russia and Germany of Sir Francis Drake, and he's holding a potato. That's what he's really known for, bringing potatoes to Europe. He's holding that potato, and it says underneath, Sir Francis Drake, disseminator of the potato in 1586. Potatoes came. The Spanish came. They found in South America there are 5,000 different kinds of potatoes there, and they learned how to plant potatoes from the Inca Indians. And also in 1560, France and Netherlands also brought the potatoes to Europe. And potatoes were important because potatoes they could put on these ships, and they started eating potatoes, and potatoes had just enough vitamin C to prevent scurvy. That's a big deal. And another big deal, it started out the kings were just eating the potatoes, as a delicacy. And then they started to know that potatoes, they could plant them, and all these plantations of potatoes prevented starvation. In Ireland, especially, they almost survived on the potato. If the potato crop didn't come through, they were in trouble. And then sweet potatoes, not the sweet potatoes called yams, because they had those in Papua New Guinea. They had those in Africa. But we're talking about the Native American sweet potatoes, which were very special. They brought them in 1597, and they boiled them with prunes. And they thought, wow, these are pretty sweet. They're really sweet potatoes. Shakespeare even mentioned sweet potatoes in some of his plays. And then there was the cassava plant. Maybe you don't know very much about cassava plant, but the cassava plant was like yucca or maniac, those kind. That was from America too. But they had to know how to prepare these things. So, because it was actually pretty toxic if you eat it. And so they learned how to prepare cassava into bread, into puddings, even like you might have I have some in the refrigerator, tapioca pudding made from cassava. And then in Portugal, they took these vegetables to the Congo in 1558. And this plant became very very popular in Africa. This chocolate's got to me a little bit. And also now it's grown in 90 countries around the world, the cassava plant. Okay, how about this? Corn! Oh, we know. Corn was grown all over the Americas, from North America clear up to the corner of Montana, all the way around down to Chile in South America. We have this huge corn belt. Corn can be grown in a lot of different places. I come from Iowa, which is really known for some good corn, the corn state. Also, I'm Native American, and I love corn. My grandpa used to say, who doesn't like corn? If you don't like corn, you're not American. So corn, American, of course, the Aztecs, the Maya, the Incas, the Pueblos, all of the native indigenous people of America, practically all of them knew how to grow corn. In fact, when the Pilgrims first came, we know that they taught the Pilgrims how to grow corn, and that actually helped them survive the winters. And we know later on, Squanto even brought corn to Europe. They took Squanto as this Native American as a slave, well, maybe just like a celebrity slave, and they brought him, and then they wanted him to live some more, so they said, well, let's put him with the monks. So guess what he did? He taught him about corn, and then he popped up some popcorn, and the monks were like, wow, did you taste that corn? It's popped. Wow. Popcorn came to Europe at this time. We're going to take a break. A few more vegetables, and then we'll be done.